7-ish minutes in hell. I can never quite keep to that. I'm not worried about it. You're not worried about it. It's 7 minutes in hell. AnnaHelle here. Hey, this is super awesome. With me today, whenever this airs, we have Diechotomy. Woo! Hailing from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, we do have Jimmy Luther and Ryan Smith.
I'm AnnaHelle.
How's it going?
What's up, guys? You guys are Diechotomy. Can you just throw us a little bit of background of the band for people that don't know? Obviously, we're going to link to all your good stuff, Facebook, Bandcamp, all that crash.
Yeah, we're again a two-piece project out of Pittsburgh. We're a horror punk. Yeah, horror punk project. We draw from both of our musical backgrounds and
yeah, just the two of us to do everything, 100% DIY. Obviously, write everything, record everything ourselves right here at Luther's Mortuary.
Yes.
Where you stab them, we slab them. Do all the production as well. We do. Jimmy handles all of the mixing and mastering of the tracks, and
Ryan does all the artwork. So we kind of have our own kind of separate writing styles, and they've kind of come together. And we find that parts that might be lacking something I write, he finishes it off perfectly. Something that maybe he's writing, he hits a spot.
Sandwiches.
Exactly.
There is some great movie sound, homage to horror movies. Definitely checking out Night of the Creeps. It came from outer space. Friday slasher movie. What? Yeah, talk a little bit about the influential songwriting process.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that lends itself to, again, how we both kind of we write independently from each other. Yes. And we just bring what we have to the table. We might have a concept. We're both constantly working on new material. As far as the Came From Outer Space EP, we just kind of sci-fi horror-based stuff. And it just really goes back to the ultimate influence, at least for myself, and that's horror films, horror novels, things like that. Same for Ryan.
Yeah, I like horror, all the different parts of the horror genre and stuff. But it's also, for me, for my writing, I just love music. I don't know, I just love playing, and it's often easy to draw inspiration from television, movies, books, video games, things like that. And they're fun. I mean, I always one thing I liked is listen to the Misfits, growing up and stuff like that, and other bands. But when you listen to the Misfits as the example, it was fun to listen to the songs and be I know what movie they're talking about. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of this movie and they're singing about it. There's just that little extra nuance that goes into the songs. You know what I mean? That I think is kind of fun.
Yeah, and for me, it came from White Zombie, being more of a metalhead myself. My musical journey came out of metal, but it all started with the Beatles, oldies, 50s and 60s music. As I was writing stuff that didn't fit some of my metal projects, I would just have these riffs, these ideas, and I'd be watching horror movies and just writing along to them as I was doing it, structuring them like a story or kind of a movie would kind of follow. And I just would find okay, here's a title idea, here's a lyrical theme, and then I would write a song around that.
Coming up with the titles is my favorite part. We work very well together, and we know what each other is going to do in terms of I understand his playing style and what he's going to bring to the table and stuff. Sometimes we'll work on songs together, but we usually write separately because we're both fortunate to have recording equipment at both of our places, and we're both multi-instrumentalists to a certain extent. When I write my songs, I'll demo out the entire thing, and I'll put on guitar and bass, mostly just as plain Jane chord structures and stuff, just to give the song its structure. And then I'll use that, and then I'll write all the drums and the vocals and the harmonies, and use that to flesh out my ideas for drums and vocals and stuff with the chord progression in there. And then when I have the song totally fleshed out, start to finish, and I usually send it over to Jimmy, here's what I'm thinking. He'll give me feedback, and then I know that he's going to embellish the guitars and the bass and all all this other stuff.
Return to SlasherFest, Saturday, July 17th. State Theatre Havre de Grace, Maryland. That venue is rocking. It is literally an old theater. How hyped are you? What can we expect?
Yeah, we're stoked for it. We've been prepping for it.
Yeah, we've fleshed out a live band to bring with us, especially for my other band. Yeah.
So obviously, our two-man project, like we talked about, right? Some problems of playing live with only two people, right? You can't play guitar and bass at the same time.
I can't do both.
At very least, we would need another guitar player. So we do. We have our friend.
Mike Marsili. He's playing guitar. He actually played the guitar solo on Night of the Creeps off of the Outer Space EP. He plays
he's a good
guitar in
friend
my
of
other
mine,
band, and him and I have been playing for together for probably 15 years now in bands. So
he's a good guy, great guitar player.
Yeah, came to a point where we needed somebody to fill it out, and
this is one of the fun things about coming to see us, not just at SlasherFest, but in all future shows. Our lineup could potentially change anytime that you see us. So like, while you'll always have Jimmy and I, and you'll probably always have Mike, we've got a rotating cast of drummers. We're fortunate. We're very fortunate to know a lot of musicians and people that are on board to jam with us.
So we have kind of a wealth of them to pick from whenever we're filling out a live show. So yeah, we're pretty stoked to get this live.
I love it. There's always like guest stars in the mix.
Yeah, kind of like, you never know what you're getting with Diechotomy.
That's right.
We've got Return to SlasherFest coming up. You guys are just shaking it up, practicing, shaking up the lineup as you have live shows. So what else can we see coming out from Diechotomy?
We are planning on hopefully doing a new EP, possibly an album. Again, we're always writing, constantly putting stuff together, putting
short album, long EP. What's the difference?
6 or 7 that we're kind of in the works on right now.
Most
hailing from Pittsburgh and him living in Monroeville, we're kind of in the zombie capital of the world.
Yeah, that's true.
Romero's hometown. I mean,
we have a lot.
The material we're working on is going to be an undead, like kind of zombie themed EP.
Oh,
we got a lot of it not finalized, but in the works last year, and it was a toss up between us last year. We were like, do we release a zombie one or do we do the sci-fi one? And we decided to roll with the sci-fi last year, so that gave us a little time to flesh out some more zombie songs here for this new EP. So we're stoked for that.
Yeah,
I've already like personally, just in my own mind of artistic way, I've almost like abandoned all the stuff we already did. I'm like, forget that stuff. This new stuff is way better. The song structure is better. We're better. Yeah, I'm so excited to get this out there. It's gonna be awesome.
Think of it as like a bloating corpse, as we let it fester, it just grows more and more, and eventually it's gonna rise up.
The stench of greatness.
It'll eventually rise up from the grave, and
and it'll be rotten.
Bestow its wrath upon everybody. The masses. Bestow its wrath upon the masses.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, Hellions, that was another 7 minutes in hell. Thank you so much to Diechotomy for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Y'all make sure you are catching Return to SlasherFest. This is Saturday, July 17th. State Theatre Havre de Grace, Maryland. It's an awesome venue. The lineup is awesome. Diechotomy will be there. It's going to be so killer. Like and subscribe, and we will link to everything for Diechotomy down here in the information in the comments. So make sure you check them out. Bandcamp, YouTube, all that good stuff. Like and subscribe. We'll catch you soon.
We'll catch you at SlasherFest.
Catch you at SlasherFest.